Hey, you guys. Hey. Today is that day where I just want you to sit back, relax, and just hear my love chronicles. Because this is not a side that I have actually been able to reveal for a very long time. It has actually taken the Holy Spirit to force me to be telling you this kind of stories, because me, I'm not the type to share my business. But after whatever you are fearing right now, please fear love and men in the internet. And this story is actually not my recent love stories, because it's something I've kept for a very long time. But when the Holy Spirit was actually telling me, God has given you this channel so that you can be able to inspire people, and you're just there holding some things away from people that, is actually beneficial to the kingdom of God. Because people actually assume you're perfect, but they don't actually know your story. So I want to talk about this story at a place of, you getting to know me, at the same time at a place of inspiration and telling someone, you know what, hey, it's time to leave. When you see the red flags, please leave. Yeah, and it's also quite fortunate that nowadays we have disclaimers, because I have a lot of disclaimers before I actually start this particular video. Yeah, because hey, do you know, even right now, I have not yet started this particular video, but I already feel tired, because I only knew this person for a very short time, but the things I underwent made me even dislike, replying to DMs on social media. You understand? And it started off, by a simple comment. So if you want to know the details of this particular video, you just better stick here, because hey, I'm telling you, where love can be something else. I don't know, especially if you are young and naive. Last thing is that I want you to know that this particular event, or rather these particular scenarios concerning this person, because there are a lot, and that's why I can't exhaust everything about person X. I can't actually call him my ex. I want to call him my experience, because I did not actually get to date him for a very long time, but the few days I was able to be with this person, I had already seen it all. And I wondered how his previous exes were actually so obsessed with this person. Because for me, I actually stayed with this guy for only 3 weeks. But I just felt like, wait, it's too much. It's too much. It's time to go. And by the way, this is one of the reasons why I do not like, or I actually hate, if that's the word, responding to TikTok DMs. Because let me tell you, it started with one comment to a DM, and to my whole life, you understand, being into chaos, you understand. So I really understand when people actually talk about people who self-groom themselves on social media, only to find that they are actually not it. So I don't know if this is going to be a counterfeit story, because at that time, I was not a very strong Christian. I was just living in the world. And by the way, I was actually only 20 years old. But the things I underwent in this particular situationship, because it actually lasted for 3 weeks, but I actually felt after, I was like, you know what, I'm actually tired, because I'm not the type to actually hold on to someone like that. I was like, it's time to go. Yeah, I just packed my things and I just decided, you know what, it's time to go. As I quote his final words towards me, he actually told me, yes, I was actually teaching you who men are. Who men are. That's how he told me. There's a lot we're going to talk about this guy, but we cannot finish all these things in one episode. So with your permission, today, let us just focus on the church aspect of how he introduced me in church and literally decided to embarrass me. You understand? Hey! Wow! I don't even know to say. Fear men, fear love. Yes. And that's why I told you guys, there's no one else who can love you better than God. So if you think you can get love outside God, I'm telling you, you are lying to yourself. So this one is mainly to give you my story, for you to actually be surprised. And also, this is an opportunity for you to learn from my story. And that's why we are actually bringing this particular episode. And this is the point where I say, with no much further ado, let's get into the video. Hi besties, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Ashk, and this is the Unscripted 20s, where we help women navigate through life, not as experts, alongside Jesus Christ ourselves as a community, and also alongside our big sisters well is here on the comment section. So if you already like it here already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because today is about to go down. Today is one of the most intimate sessions that I'm having with you guys, or in the most intimate videos that I'm having with you guys, because I'm not the type to share, but I believe this particular story is going to be of benefit to someone. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Call a friend, tell a sister, because more people need to hear this. You understand? Woo! So the most important part of every love story is for me to actually tell you, where did I actually meet this guy? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you think I met him where? Hey, I met this guy on TikTok. Yes, it was actually in 2021. I remember I was actually 20 years old at that particular time. I met him on TikTok, and it was through a comment that he actually had said at that particular time that I am his wife. And me being young, and dumb, young, and broke. Both. I was young, dumb, and broke at that particular time. So, just like any other person, what would you do if somebody actually goes and comments and then slides into your DM? You will go immediately. What you do, you will go to his profile. So I saw his profile, and I saw that this one was actually a journalist, you understand, who was working on a radio. And being that I was in first year, I felt that this was going to be good motivation, so I can actually get to know this particular guy. Only to know that this guy was faking it. But today I'm not going to talk about him faking it. Anyway, so we have gotten to know each other. We have transferred our communication from the DMs. We now decide, we need to exchange our numbers. We go to WhatsApp. So after us shifting our conversation to WhatsApp, person X decided, we have been video calling, we've been talking constantly on WhatsApp. It's time for us to meet in person. So he arranges a date. We go on the date. After that, I went back home and we continued to talk. So at this particular time, when I've gone home after our date, I think he liked it. Yeah, at that particular time. So he convinces me, instead of commuting, from home to school, you can actually commute from my place to school. And I was like, okay, but you need to talk to my mama first. You understand? You need to talk to my mom, because me, I'm not the type to hide my relationships, At least let her know that, I'm having someone, I am dating someone, you understand? Yeah, so he talks to my mom and he says, I'm going to actually stay with your daughter, take care of your daughter. Did he take care of me? Anyway, story for another day. I'm going to take care of your daughter. I am going to make sure that, she actually goes for her classes. Okay, I went for my classes, but with a lot of struggle. And I'm going to tell you one day why. Because you are here. So, anyway, I pack my bags one Saturday morning and I decide, we are actually going to stay with this guy. So as we are continuing to stay with this guy, you understand, it is during those first days, you're hugging each other, you're cuddling, you're having the time of your life. So this guy decides, it's actually Sunday. It is good to commit our relationship to the Lord, our God. Great Eroi. Hey, but previously I had already seen Shege. God was showing me signs that this is not the person to go with, but I could not listen. I could not see those red flags. But later on, I'm going to tell you that particular story. So relax. Today, let us just focus on the church. So yeah, so he proposes on Saturday that we need to go to church on Sunday. You understand? And commit our relationship to the Lord so that we can start our life. That I'll be able to continue this relationship and also our side businesses, you understand, as I commute from his place to school, to and from, you understand. And also to add on that, this is an additional information I'm giving you. Do you know I used to commute from his place to school every single time and still come back and do wifely duties, you understand, wash, cook, and do all those things and still study and still pass my exams. I told you I'm a smart kid, but let me tell you, hey, these times we're not in safe hands. Okay, so anyways, I've had people talk about pathological liars, but this was one guy, I can tell you for a fair fact. If I finish telling you chronicles about this guy, you'll be like, Ashley, you are justified to have left that particular situationship after 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, okay? Yes. Anyway, so on Sunday, we woke up very early. We prepared ourselves. We decided, let us now go to church. So there was a nearby church over there. I'm not going to mention it, you understand? But if you saw me in that church, hi. Yes, so we went to that particular church. And you know that particular church, people are so many, you understand? But when we were being told to stand up as visitors, we went and stood up, as a couple. And the most surprising thing is that when we stood as visitors, there were also other couples and then us. But I don't know what actually made the pastor, love us so much. So they decided to pray for us. You understand? They prayed for us. They said you are an amazing couple. They would like to actually see us more often, mentor us, take our numbers, and so that we can be able to be, in constant communication, because now we are a young couple in that particular church. So we went. So we had a nice service. We enjoyed. My first time going to church with someone, because this time around at the back of my head, I'm looking at it as a long time. I'm looking at it as a very serious relationship that I need to commit to. And I remember that particular morning, I just gave my mom a heads up and I was like, you know what, imagine you started going to church. It seems like this thing is getting serious, you understand? Yeah, so I was just keeping her on the radar, because me, I'm not the type to hide my relationships at that particular time. Hey, when you hide your relationship, that's how, you get worse. So it was better, it got bad, not worse, you understand? Because me, I know how to run like Rudisha like this. So anyway, we went to church. So after service, we are called, of course, to register our names, and we're actually registered according to our home cells, so that the pastor can actually hold the fellowship in our home cells, you understand, or rather in our homes, you understand. So the most shocking thing is that I was at this point settled that now we've gotten a church. We'll be going each and every Sunday to church, you understand, together as a couple. And then this guy tells me all of a sudden that no, you see, whatever the pastor has said of us, of him coming to our home, we cannot allow him to come to our home. We don't even have, certain things in this particular house, you understand? So how can he come to our home? So he started giving excuses why he doesn't want the pastor to come. For me, at the back of my mind, I'm like, this is a pastor, you understand? Why is he so focused on how the pastor is going to judge us? Because I feel like the pastor has seen life, and he has seen that you're a young couple, you understand? And it is also your fault, because you're the one who lied to me that, you are stable, you understand? And I've chosen, even after that, I have chosen to still love you, because apparently I am not a gold digger. I am not a gold digger. Anyways, tells me, yeah, we're going to church, but we are not going to be, the pastor is not going to come to our house, never, until we get certain things. Was he working towards getting the certain things? Yeah, so anyways, that became our fate. So the first Sunday we have gone. Now this is the second one we have gone. Now the third Sunday that I was looking forward to it, a girl calls me. It starts with a DM on TikTok. Yeah, it actually starts with a DM on TikTok. And this lady is like, tell this particular person X to actually return my so and so. When I look at it in the house, this person actually doesn't have that particular thing in the house, you understand? So I now ask person X, there is somebody who has actually DM'd me on TikTok, and she has just told me to tell you to return certain things. So, and then this particular person also added that there was actually a child involved that needed to be paid school fees. Person X looks like a young guy. He doesn't look like he has a child. And I imagine, being a good girlfriend, I had told him that if you have a child, make sure you let me know so that we can be able to take care of that child, you understand? Because me, I'm not the type who encourages people based on where I've come from, to abandon their kids. So if there's a child, let us take care of the child, because even me right now, I cannot lie to you, I am ready to conceive. Before even this incident, person next now told me, no, I don't have a child. I am just single, you understand? I don't have responsibilities, just me and you. We are going to have our first kid, at the right time, but right now I don't have a child.
See this gender. You see this gender. Fear them. Anytime when you wake up for morning, just take how I would take take small hour, just half day service and fear them. Because these people, they
So when I got this particular DM, I just, cooked supper, I made sure that everything was okay. And then I was like, my husband, because right now he was our Omu husband, because at that time he was our Omu husband. I told him, my husband, there's a certain DM I've gotten. I don't know the girl, but she told me to tell you this and this, you understand, to return this particular thing and also to take care of your child. You understand? Do you have a child? Pastor Next told me that he doesn't have a child and he doesn't even know what that DM is all about. So me kama kawaida, I decide, you know what, after our cuddles, let me sleep on the other side because now we are done with our cuddling. Let me sleep on the other side and let me rest. About 10 to 15 minutes, I hear someone tapping me, you understand, when I was asleep. So I decided to turn. I told me, babe, I will wake up. There's something I want to tell you. You guys, guess what? I just want you to guess. Hey, oh, chidere, oh. I don't even know how to say. So he tells me, guess what? My love, I want you to know that I love you. I want you to know that I love you. And that's why I chose you. To be honest, I have a son. And that son, I know at that time he was 4 years. That son is 4 years old. You understand? Yes, I had this baby with this particular person, but things did not work out. And the reason why I've never told you concerning this particular son is because this lady actually got married to someone else, and she ended up changing the son's name on the birth certificate. So I actually became bitter and I decided, to disown that son, because even right now, how can I prove that that is my son? And she has actually changed her details. Guess what I did? Did I rant? Did I say, you know what, it's over? I did not say it's over. I decided that, you know what, let me just stay. I was like, okay, I know it might be a very difficult thing for you to actually tell someone something that deep, so I understand.
You are a mumu, now mumu you be mumu. You are stupid. You be mumu, now mumu you be.
So I started asking him, okay, so what are we going to do concerning the child? Because we need to take care of the child, okay? What do we do? So he started telling me, oh, we're going to figure it out right now. I'm not in a position. Let's just, we're going to figure it out as time goes. I was like, okay, no pressure. So I slept. Let me tell you, I started noticing certain patterns that were weird, concerning me, and up to this point, I believe this guy was actually dragging me. You understand? Yeah. Because the reason why I'm saying this, me, I'm the type, when I sleep, I can hear everything that is happening outside. I am deep asleep, but I can hear what is happening, around my surrounding and also outside. So these particular moments, when I wake up in the morning, I actually see strange numbers. And these strange numbers are not from my country, Kenya. They're actually in other countries, you understand? Like USA, like I don't know where, you understand? So I asked him, who has called my phone? Because remember, I had not had him in the night speaking to someone, but there's an evidence of a video call. When I asked him, he's like, me, I did not call anyone. Maybe it's a mistaken number. Was it a mistaken number? No. So we decided one particular afternoon that we need to start posting and making our relationship public, that people now know that I now got somebody. But at this particular time, at this particular point, I've known that he's not even a journalist. But the people of social media, they actually see that he's a radio presenter. So anyway, we started posting our shenanigans over there. We are holding hands, we are dancing, he's singing for me, blah, 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 you understand? And we are getting positive comments. People like us now on social media. They're like, hey, you look good together. Oh, when are you getting married? Oh, we can't wait for your YouTube channel. All those things that people on social media, you people on social media, the way you make people believe that they are good, perfect matches. So this is the day where I decided, you know what, it's time to pack and go. Okay, yes, I did not actually pack and go because there is a lot to say concerning this particular guy. But let me say this is one of the reasons why I actually packed and went, you understand? Because he actually embarrassed me. So this guy, I now realize that, as we continue to post on social media, the more I get DMs of girls. And these girls are actually ranting, they're not actually saying, positive things. There are those who are bitter. They are like, you know what, tell him that he has to go and take care of his kids. Others are coming to tell me, you know what, he stole my money. Others are coming to say he conned me. The others who are coming to say, you know what, the many terrible things that this guy has actually done. You understand? And that is when I started raising eyebrows, and I was like, you know what, this, as a journalist, it meant to me that there's something wrong with this guy, and this person might be a pathological liar, and he's living double lives. You understand? So one particular day, hey, there's this phone call that came, you understand? So I don't know where he had gone at that particular time, because he had actually left his SIM card in my phone, because he didn't have a phone at that particular time, because apparently the car that he came with to pick me up was not his. It was involved in an accident that particular day when we were together. You understand? So it's also another story I'm going to tell you. I don't want to feed you with a lot, okay? And you end up getting confused. So remember, we had previously gone the second Sunday in church, you understand? And you're now getting to adjust to the church. So these things that I'm telling you are happening now on the next week. You understand that we're supposed to go for our third service. You understand? So this girl calls, you understand? And innocently, I just pick up the phone because he was not there. And then I hear a lady's voice, and she was like, you know what? Hey, I'm looking for person X. You understand? And I'm like, person X is not here. So she decided to tell me who she was. Actually, person X girlfriend. You understand? They have a kid together. So person X had actually told this particular girl that when she calls him and finds him unavailable, she can actually call this particular number, you understand, or rather his SIM card, because he's actually living with his sister, who is going to pick up. So when I actually picked up, the lady was like, okay, oh, you are the sister of so and so. And me, being that I have already started raising eyebrows, I was like, hey, yes, I'm actually his sister.
You are a mumu. Now mumu you be mumu. You are stupid. You be mumu. Now mumu you be.
You understand? And then she started telling me, you know what? Yeah, when person X comes, tell him that I'm actually looking for him, because, you know, the baby needs pampers. I don't know, the baby needs what, you understand? And I want you to imagine, this is somebody who has introduced you to a full church as, you know, his wife. You understand? As his wife to be, actually as his wife, you know? And then this person has not only one particular woman who is claiming to have a child with him, you understand, but so many women, you understand, who have children with this person, and others who are actually saying that this person has conned that particular person. So me, I knew that, you know what, it's time to go, because what would I be doing this particular person? And you know, this guy actually was not a club person, but me, at that particular time, I was this particular buddy who was, you know, clubbing, you understand? I was like, this guy actually removed me from my party life to come and waste my time. And previously, when I remember, my friends had warned me, another classmate of mine who was my friend at that particular time, when she heard that this guy wanted to move in with me, you know, this particular girl told me, no, don't do it, because she had previously done it and it did not work out. But me, I was like, you know, you girls don't even want the best for me. I finally found somebody who wants to live with me, so why should I not? And let me tell you, in this particular season, I was so broke. The guy was also so broke. So I used to borrow my friends money so that we can be able to do things together. Hey, you guys. You know, you hear people say these stories and you are like, hey. So that is what actually happened. One thing for sure, I know most people are asking, so how did you manage to actually get out of this particular relationship? What happened is I decided one day when things were just happening. So I actually called my friends and I told them that this was, you know, I'm actually going, you know, your girl has been heartbroken and I'm leaving this guy. Yeah, so one of my friends who was actually living far, but she had a date around that particular area, I told her, you know, and I was like, you know what, can you help me with some stuff, because I can't come with them to school and I can't go with all of them, you understand, because they were a lot, you understand, because I had already packed, like I was packing for the whole village. So yeah, so she came, she took me to a bakery. I was crying, I didn't even eat. Oh my god. And that amazing friend is called Faith. By the way, Faith, if you're seeing this, I love you so much. Thank you so much for being there for me. You didn't judge me. I was crying, you know. I was very, and at that time I was very emaciated like this, because, you know, school life, and then you're also staying with a guy who doesn't even take care of you, you understand? So yeah, so we went to the bakery. She ordered a cake. It was red. It wasn't a red velvet, or it was black forest. Between those two, I don't even get the chance to eat because I was just crying. Then she came. She helped me take my bags and every other thing. She asked me, "Are you going to be okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be okay." And then this guy shamelessly, imagine, he was still sending me errands. And yeah, I decided at this particular point, you know what, I don't need to show him that I am, that he's done anything. So I just decided, you know what, I'm going to leave his house clean. I'm going to make sure that everything has been clean. So I cleaned his house before leaving. I arranged his clothes. I just gave him a very good send off. His house was clean, and I was like, you know what, to the next. Any girl that wants to come, you can go to that particular house. So yeah, so in case he invited you over, I cleaned the house because I knew what I was doing. So I cleaned the house for you to have a new chapter. You understand? So yeah. Anyway, it was my 20s, and from then I started having brains, and I've never allowed anyone to take me through all that. And I really want to appreciate and one last thing is that I want to appreciate my friends at this particular time because they were so supportive. I had a friend called McKenna. It was actually, these things were actually happening during my birthday week. She took me out for lunch. We went and talked, you understand? And she didn't judge me, despite the fact that she had warned me not to move in with this guy. So yeah, we moved on with our lives, and yeah, we got better and better. And yeah, so I actually learned that I shouldn't have, responded to that particular comment. And at the same time, I actually thanked God, because I don't know what is more of this guy, you understand, till now, because it's been a while. But yeah, it was a rough journey. So that's why you need to hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share, like, and comment. And also let me know, have you ever encountered a pathological liar? And one thing about these pathological liars, by the way, they actually self-groom themselves in terms of character. The people outside, they actually see them as good because we would work together. Even the nearby Mama Mboga, the grocery woman, would be like, "Hey, you guys look so good. Do you even quarrel? Because you just look peaceful," you understand? And in the house, he's just a good person, you understand? But the things he's doing outside here in the streets, impregnating women, conning women, oh my God, I was like, I actually thank God. Because if that was my case, I don't know what I would have done. Imagine being the 7th baby mama, the 10th baby mama. And I don't know, why is it also that these pathological liars, narcissistic people have very good parents? This also reminds me, her mom actually loved me so much. And I remember there's this time when there's a certain incident that had happened. You understand that he ended up in a police station, which I'm going to say another time because we have different stories concerning this person. The mom was talking to him, and he was like, "You know what? I want you to stay with this one. I like this girl. Stay with her. You understand? She liked me." But it's like, parents know the weaknesses of their children, and that's why he was telling him to try his best so that we can be together. And he tried using that particular notion of my mom misses you, so that I can get back to him. But I was like, bye, you understand? And at that particular time, I had actually met my current now ex. This one was my experience, now this one is ex, who I've dated for long, and he actually knew the story and was there for me, very supportive. And yeah, it's sad how God didn't want that to continue. And also, I've told you the roller coasters that also happen in that particular relationship, but we're still cool with the guy. And yeah, so we are cool. I don't, unless he himself is not cool with me, but we have actually talked about these things. We have apologized to each other. I decided, you know what, God didn't actually want us to work, you understand? And it's okay, you move on. But for this person next, he has never apologized. Yeah, but I forgive him. So as you can see, it's already dark. It's just a clear sign that it's actually evening, and that's why the lighting is like this. But we had to complete the story anyway because the focus is on the story, not even how good I look, you understand? So yeah, tell me in the comment section, like, have you ever had such an experience? How do you navigate through trusting someone you've met on social media now that you've now experienced what I've experienced, you understand? And there are people who have actually experienced worse. So I just thank God that God was with me from the initial stages. So otherwise, I don't know what would be my fate. And that's why I tell you guys, when I look at the things God has saved me from, I can only say it's him. So this is one of the stories that I've kept dearly in my heart. I actually never thought I was gonna say it, But I hope this one has also taught you not to just trust anyone and not to be desperate just because you're the only person in the friends group who doesn't have a boyfriend. Come on, you can actually survive. And not be in a rush to actually make it. Just do your part. Be consistent in what you do. Pray to God. He's going to help you. And let me say, I'm actually a better person than I was with any of yeah. So trust me, you can actually do things on your own. So I love you so much, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, by the way. Tell me in the comment section, have you had such particular incidences and how did it actually unfold for you guys? So yeah, so let me see on the next one. Yeah, so also tell me on the comment section if you'd like more videos of such story times, because when you talk about person X, to be honest, we have so many things you can talk about this guy. So I don't know if the bar was low. Me, I don't know what to describe. I don't know. You guys can tell me, was my bar so low? You understand? Yeah, and please don't judge me so much. Yeah, but you can tell me, was my bar so low? And also let me know in the comment section if you'd like us to have more of such episodes of such story times, because there's a lot we can say about person X. So it's not about person X, it's about you learning and seeing how you can actually approach such issues. So I love you guys. Let's call it a wrap. You know, it's my papa's birthday. Happy birthday, Pastor Jerry. And you've been so kind to us. You've been so helpful to us, and may God bless you as you turn your new year. So guys, I gotta enjoy his birthday. I'm glad I did this. Consistency is key. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are road to 200 subscribers, and I love you. And one thing I know is that my mom is gonna watch this particular episode and she's just gonna be laughing. So yeah, I love you guys. See ya.